All right, welcome back to Uptick Updates, episode 18. Tonight, we're planning to talk about Uptick's vision for rights management. Brian, did you have a good week?
Yeah, pretty good. So good to see you again, John.
Good to see you too, man. It sure is hot over here in Tokyo. I saw an interesting interview titled, what is it? Excited about Bored Apes or CryptoPunks? Make sure you understand your IP rights. And I thought it was maybe good to talk about this since last week we had such a great episode talking about, reasons why creators or artists should be on Uptick. In the episode, Shin interviews Marta, Belcher, and Stuart, Levi. I was quite surprised to see how little standardization remains in the industry. It's fairly new, but at the same time, the industry's should be getting established by now. They're saying, like, from needing to check your Twitter or Discord post to see the details of what rights you get when purchasing an NFT, to the perception that it's maybe too difficult to look at metadata before buying an NFT and, to see what you're actually purchasing. I was really surprised to see the lack of standardization. Have you seen the article, or are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah, yes I do. So I saw that episode. I was pretty happy to see this topic was addressed right by professionals. Because this has been a industry-wide concerns since the beginning of the NFT booming. So I'm pretty glad somebody addressed these questions and shared thoughts. And the other part is I'm pretty happy. It also echoed the vision of Uptick. So when we start the Uptick project, our purpose is really to create a business-grade infrastructure for NFT, which means the rights management is a very essential part of that.
I remember, I don't know, maybe it was 6 months ago, you were mentioning a couple of things. Once was, standardizing the metadata for the, I guess, uptick in the industry. And then we've also talked about the rights management and maybe having like some drop-down boxes within Uptick on how to, select the rights that the purchasers get when they buy an NFT. What's the status, or what do you have planned?
Yeah, we talked about rights management a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
it was also as I mentioned earlier, it was a major goal for the first half of the year. So which is a very essential part of the Uptick infrastructure. So actually, when we dive into the details, frankly speaking, we find it's more complicated than we thought at the very beginning. Because there's a whole undefined area in front of us. And we try to work on the practical code to define it. At the same time, the whole industry, there's no standardized items, right, we can refer to. And each project is kind of defining their own way about how protect the creators, how protect the copyrights. So it's a very interesting area. So I'm pretty happy it's part of Uptick vision. So, and also addressed by so many other projects and professionals. So I would say this is an ongoing efforts, continuously working on that. So, when we talk about rights management, what are we really talking about? Right, so it's not a single item over there. There's a multiple items behind it. For example, we talk about could be the loyalty protection of the creators, right? So, and also we can talk about the licensing, copyrights information of the NFT items, and we also can talk about the interoperability of the NFT and its associated licensing, right, across the application, marketplace, and also across the blockchain. So there's so many things we can talk about and to implement into technically behind it. Yeah, so that's why it took us longer than we expected, but I'm so glad. So it will be more complicated and more complete when our creators can enjoy it in the marketplace. Yeah.
So what are the next steps, and how long before it gets finalized? In
Yeah,
that
so
interview, they were talking about, I think it was copyright, also trademark, and then near the end they were talking about the Creative Commons. There's different standardized contracts that are in there. So are you planning to look at the Creative Commons, like already determined contracts, or what are the next steps?
Okay, yeah. So let me share a screen with you before we dive into the details, right? So this is like a 9 items we listed in uptickproject.com. So so since last year, so in those 9 dots, so you can see we have certain areas are covering this topic. So on the left-hand column, you can see we have a loyalty protection part, right, and profit share part. So and the second one is NFT metadata standard part, and then we have a IP management mechanism, right, protection. Also, we have interoperability for the cross-chain, multiple chain. So I would say 4 of these 4 dots in this Uptick vision all covers the rights management. Yeah, so from different angle. So how we can really do that, right? So first, I think I do agree to that video. So in our vision, we think metadata standard is very important in the NFT digital asset. So it was starting from very beginning when we start this project, because there's no such a metadata standard established in the industry. Maybe we just use some basic attributes to describe the JPEG or some author name. So this most basic information, it's used by the industry right now across the marketplace. But how about the actual attributes we need to record? For example, in our metadata standard, where we are going to include the loyalty attribute. So which means the creator, when they mint this NFT, they will define what kind of loyalty percentage they want to collect from the future trade. Well, no matter the future marketplace respect that number or not, the number should be there, right? Should be part of the NFT itself. The second part is the licensing part. So licensing is not loyalty, right? So licensing part is a very essential part of that. So we are going to add another attribute called the licensing code in the metadata. So so basically you can put into a license code. For example, Uptick 001, Uptick 002. Right, so which actually can be associated with some existing licensing rules. For example, Creative Commons, they already established a list of different licensing code, right? So maybe we can just directly use it, but at the same time, we can also keep adding the actual combination of rights into a new licensing code. But essentially, in the metadata, this kind of licensing code should be recorded permanently associated with this NFT. So that's something we are keep doing the metadata standard, pushing in this way. It's a very essential part for we can describe this digital asset NFT in the whole picture, right? So we also talk about the atomic NFT, right? So basically, the digital asset should be self-contained. It can describe itself. Well, that's the purpose for the metadata, right? Metadata means the data that describe the data, right? So so that's very important. So we basically for this rights management part, we are going to include this loyalty code and the license code into the NFT. But on the other side, so when you have this code, it's not enough. So for example, license code. So it's a code. There's a whole paragraph of text to describe this code, right? So they should be a pair. So for example, this pair of license should be also recorded somewhere. Of course, in our case, naturally it will be recorded on the ledger, right, on the blockchain.
Yep.
So I mean, text-based, those value is also one kind of NFT, right? So so it will be recorded on the ledger, and it's tamper-proof, so people can refer to that, but it's not changeable, right? So once it's fixed, so that will protect the license code will not be changed. You know, in our internet platform, you keep getting some confirmation request for the new term and the conditions, right? So, but originally when you register, you agree to that. But 2 weeks after, they ask you to confirm it again, but you don't have time to read into that. That's the issue that we have. That means you have to trust the platform, but it's not always the case. So in our case, so we want to make sure any code we burn into this metadata, they should be a permanent interpretation to describe it, right? So maybe in the future there's an upgraded version of this license code. So then we have a new code, right? So it's I think basically we really need to use the key value of a blockchain. I mean the ledger, right? So it's a tamper-proof, immutable feature. So that will build the trust between people that don't know each other, right? So so this is a metadata and its associated attributes, and also the text describe such attributes. So together, they will become a complete set that will travel with the NFT, right? So then if you use your wallet to connect to a particular application, for example, Uptick marketplace, or some Uptick music house, or even some other marketplace by other operators. So each application should have the way to read the metadata and try to interpret the value of metadata and the display in a way that average user can understand, right? So some attributes actually requires a interaction, confirmation click. So in that way, you know, the application will also work with the metadata standard to make a complete set to really protect the creators, right?
Yeah, I think they were mentioning that. How do you make the terms and conditions or the contract involved? How do you make that legally binding? And it seems like the solution is just making someone agree to having read the metadata, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, basically, when you have this kind of open and attributes, it can be openly defined by the creator. When they publish their works, they should have the freedom to select which kind of licensing they want to apply to that, right? For example, you know, currently in the market, in the NFT market, people really don't understand if they don't read those small text behind the web pages, right? So, but basically, there's several type of licensing is in the market right now. So one is non-commercial related. So basically, you can own it, you can enjoy it, display it, and transfer to somebody else, right? So, and the second part is maybe you own some partially own some commercial rights. You can use it in your or some journalist articles, right? To use it or whatever. And the third part is full commercial rights. Well, of course, with limitation or without limitation. So basically, there's several options. So basically, we don't want to stick to one in our overall marketplace, which is not flexible for the creators.
Oh.
So we want to bring all those options into the process that they try to mint and publish their NFT, right? So basically they can, because based on the different option you choose, it also reflects different pricing scheme.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to sell the full rights, then price must be higher, right? If it's only partial rights or non-commercial rights, so maybe the price should not be that high. So this, if we make it more transparent and more flexible, open to the creators and the collectors, buyers, I mean, so everybody will enjoy that because they know what they are selling and what they are buying, right?
Totally.
So it will create less conflicts in the later phase.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's better for everyone. So just have a drop-down box with, you know, the amount of rights you get. One thing I never thought about, you said that, you know, because terms and conditions can change over time, you want to have the terms and conditions on the blockchain. I thought the terms and conditions, all the details would be listed under the code within each NFT. But you're saying maybe the terms and conditions have to be stored as a separate NFT?
Well, it could be because, you know, as I said, for example, in the NFT, we have a license code field, right? So metadata. So basically in this field, you cannot record too many text because otherwise it will be super expensive when you mint it, right? So basically you write an index code for this, say license 001, but the text who describe it should be also recorded on the blockchain. So that you can consider it's another NFT. Basically, NFT is a digital asset, immutable digital asset. So that can be another NFT. So basically, you have an index code here. It will refer you to that text NFT, and people can read it, right? So this is very important because we really want to use the immutable feature of a blockchain. Right? Otherwise, there will be a lot of security hole here and there. And also, you know, I really agree to them. So currently, you know, there's basically two level of terms of conditions when you go to a marketplace to buy the NFT. First level is the terms of conditions of that marketplace, right? Define it. The second layer is the terms of conditions for this NFT. So in our case, we really want to focus more on the NFT level because that will be part of the NFT and it will travel with the NFT. It's really important. But later, whether the upper level marketplace or application can respect that or NFT level terms of condition, we don't know, right? So if such marketplace decide to really follow the standard and respect the authors, creators claim of such terms of condition, maybe we can put a tag over there. So this is a license standard compliant, right? So compatible marketplace. So that actually will bring more trust to the users, right? So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, we better wrap this one up. I guess I got two more questions remaining. One is just the timing. I don't know if we decided when this will be available. Maybe, I guess it'll be Q3 or pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely. We will just gradually release it because when we talk about this, there's so many aspects in that, right? So just now we talked about licensing, license code, metadata, and marketplace level and infrastructure level, right? NFT level. So and also, you know, Uptick really focusing on the multiple chain and cross chain scenario. So when we hit the cross chain scenario, this will be a very essential issue, right, for everybody. just like we really want to make sure all the rights, loyalty, licensing will travel with the NFT wherever it goes.
Super important.
That's super important.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the creator will lose their rights and benefit. I think this topic is pretty important. So I will consider that like last episode, we talk about why the creator should go to Uptick marketplace or Uptick ecosystem, because we provide better feature or more features and continuously create a creator-friendly features and help them to feel like a home here, right? To keep posting their works and make connections to the world. Today, we will talk about the security behind it, right? So because that's the essential part, every creators will care. So based on the marketplace features and also the infrastructure support for the rights, I think it will be more complete picture for the creators. So I really hope they can join our community to play with that and also grow with us together.
Yeah, can't wait to see this stuff evolve. Okay, thanks a lot, Brian. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you. See you next time.